Hello, hi. So, I say so a lot. I'm looking at like my old videos and my cat decided to play with this loud jingly ball and I'm not even gonna take it. I'm just going to talk louder. But first of all, welcome VEDA Day 28. And I thought I'd read a story. Because I have quite a few stories that I've written, and so this is another story that I've written. This is more of a thriller. The last story that I read, if you did not get a chance to check that one out, but the last story that I read was a horror story, kind of creepy children. This story, I can't remember what the inspiration was for me to write it. I think it was just one of those where I was just like, story, and then just kind of wrote it. That happens to me a lot, which makes it tough to kind of write sustained stories because I'm used to the whole burst of inspiration thing. But nonetheless, I want to read it, check it out. This is kind of my thriller writing, where it's not so much horror, but just more situation that goes awry. So this is called Appearances Can Be Deceiving. Have a good evening, she said with a naughty grin. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye, I said, laughing as I walked toward the elevator. I walked to my car and got in. It was a nice day, so I rolled down my windows and turned on my radio a bit as I headed out of the parking lot. I had to stop by the store, so I decided I would give him a call when I got there. I needed some time to enjoy the music and the breeze. When I got to the store, I rolled up my windows and hopped out of the car. As I was walking in, I dialed my cell phone to give him a call. I got his voicemail, so I left him a message letting him know that I had left work a bit before 4 and was headed home, but that I would still be open to the early dinner idea for my email. I hung up and pulled out my list. I had to make a list every time I went to the store so I wouldn't get off task and pick up things I didn't need. I had a bad habit of doing that. As I was going through the self-checkout, my phone rang. I hit ignore so I could pay attention to my purchases. I hated it when people were at the register doing 12 things at once and holding up the line. I paid for my purchases and grabbed my bags. As I was walking to my car, I pulled out my phone to check the call log. He had called me back but didn't leave a message. I closed my phone and headed back to my car to put my bags in the trunk. Once I got in and backed out, I picked up my phone to call him back. I got his voicemail again and left another message. Hey, I saw that you called but didn't leave a message. I just left the store and I'm headed home now. Give me a call and let me know if you still want to get together. I rolled down my windows again and cranked up my music. I put my cell phone on my leg so I would feel it vibrate if I got a call. As I was pulling into my parking space, my phone vibrated. I turned on the music and answered it. It was him. Hi, I said. How are you? I'm fine, he said in a tight voice. Where are you? I'm just parking at my apartment. Did you get my voicemail and messages and email? I asked. Yes, I got them, he said. When I called you back, you didn't answer. What were you doing? Sounds like you didn't get my second message. I was at the store when you called. I called you right back, though, I said. Oh, the store, huh? He said. Yeah, I said, feeling a little annoyed. Well, I wanted to come over and see you tonight. Do you feel up to company? He said. I'm tired from last night, I said, but I'm okay with you coming by for an early dinner. I can cook something. An early dinner? He said. Why does it have to be an early dinner? Because I'm tired and I need to get some sleep. I barely made it through the day today and I have some deadlines coming up at work that I need to be alert for this week. I said. Oh, he said, sounding disappointed. I wanted to come and spend the night with you again. While that sounds absolutely lovely, I would probably fall asleep on you, I said. What if we do that Friday night so we could spend Saturday together as well? My Saturday is wide open. Well, I guess that would be okay, he said. I was really looking forward to seeing you tonight, but I guess I can hold out. Cool, I said. We continued talking as I got out of the car and headed inside. After I put everything away, I told him I was going to take a shower and get comfortable for the evening. We said goodbye, and I headed to my room to take a shower and put on my loungy clothes. After I got out of the shower, I went to the kitchen to make myself some dinner. I was more tired than hungry, so I took out the ingredients for a salad. I had some grilled chicken left over from another meal, so I cut that up and added in some apple slices, onions, carrots, and cheese. I put it in a bowl and pulled out a bottle of white wine. I took my glass of wine and salad over to the couch and turned on the television. I really needed to veg out some more before I went to bed to rest my mind. As I was eating the salad and watching television, I heard a knock at my door. I walked over to it and looked out the peephole. It was him. I opened the door. "What a surprise," I said. "What brings you by?" "I couldn't wait until Friday to see you again," he said. He grabbed me and kissed me passionately. When we parted, I stepped back. He was still standing in the open doorway. "Wow," I said. "That was a lot. Is something wrong?" "No," he said. "Can't I just be happy to see you?" "Sure," I said. "I wasn't expecting you tonight based on our conversation a couple of hours ago." "Are you not happy to see me?" he asked. I saw a small flicker of that thing in his eyes again. It was the same thing I saw the other night. My stomach clenched slightly. "I'm happy," I said. "I'm just surprised to see you. That's all." He reached for me again, but I was too far away from him after I took a few steps back. He came into my apartment, but left the door open. He narrowed his eyes a little and took a step towards me. I tried to focus my mind and assess the situation as best I could. I couldn't understand why this was happening. I really liked this guy, and here he was stepping menacingly towards me, but I wasn't sure why. "Is everything okay?" "No. I really wanted to see you, and you did want to see me." I shook my head slowly from side to side as I continued to back away from him further into my living room. "No," I said. "It's not that I didn't want to see you, but I'm really tired and I didn't want to be rude and fall asleep on you." "Well, I really wanted to see you, so I came over anyway," he said. I wanted to get him to calm down and start acting like the guy that I'd been falling for over the past couple of months. "Here, have a glass of wine," I said, motioning to my glass sitting on the living room table. "Let me go get another glass from the table. We can talk." He looked at me with that crazy look in his eye and then walked to the couch and sat down. I walked into the kitchen and looked for my cell phone. Thankfully, I had left it in the kitchen when we finished talking earlier and no one had called since then. I picked up the phone and dialed 911, but didn't hit the SIM key. I pulled out the bottle of wine and got another glass. I walked back to the living room and sat down next to him on the couch. I poured off the cork and poured myself a glass of wine. "Would you like more?" I asked. He shook his head, so I reached over and poured a bit more into his glass. He picked it up and took a big gulp before sitting the glass down. He stared at the television for a minute, then looked over at me. I breathed a sigh of relief when I saw that crazy look out of his eyes. He looked like the guy I'd gotten to know and like a lot again. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Well, you kind of caught me off guard," I said, choosing my words carefully so as not to set him off. "I wasn't expecting you to stop by tonight. I thought we were going to get together Friday." "Oh, I just wanted to see you." And the next thing I knew, I was in my car driving over. He reached over and gave me a kiss, and I flinched slightly. He pulled back, eyes widening. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Did I scare you?" "Yeah, a little," I said. "There was a look in your eyes that worried me." He leaned over and brought me close to him for a hug. After a few minutes, he let me go and kissed me on the cheek and forehead. "I apologize if I frighten you. Sometimes I get really intense when I feel really strongly about something or someone. I really like you, and after last night, I just couldn't get you off my mind." I smiled at how sweet he was being. I leaned over and gave him a kiss. "It's okay," I said. "I'm flattered that you wanted to see me so bad. Let me take your jacket. Would you like some salad?" He took off his jacket and handed it to me. I closed the front door and walked over to the closet to hang up his jacket when I felt him right behind me. I turned around in shock and he grabbed my neck tightly. "When I say I want to see you, you'd better make the time to see me," he said menacingly. "Don't ever tell me no again." I tried to speak but couldn't get the words out as he squeezed my throat. Tears began to roll down my cheeks and I felt myself getting dizzy. My hands were hanging by my sides, so I reached into my pocket and hit the send button on my cell phone, thankful that I had kept 911 keyed in. Right before I passed out, I felt him kiss me on the forehead and whisper, "I'm sorry." Appearances can be deceiving. So like I said, when I first started, I have no idea what inspired me. I think this just kind of came to me. But that was a thriller. And I actually added to it a few years later, and so I will see if I can find the updated version and maybe share the link here just for those who may be interested in giving it a read, checking it out, etc. But that's my story. I thought I'd do a quick read you a story for VEDA Day 28. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me on this journey of video production, and also just sticking to a promise that I made to myself. And yeah, we're closing out the end of August, and so I think this is really cool. I've learned a lot about myself in this, which I'll discuss in a later video. But in the meantime, have a good rest of your day. This was fun and cool, and I look forward to the next time that we can talk again. Bye.